Marvin, I think Coach Riley just said that he felt like the team sort of believed the game was over in the second half. Did you get the feeling that that was the case? And if so, what do you think caused that mentality?
I believe that we did come in the locker room kind of comfortable, a little too comfortable when there's a second half ready to be played. Not to the point where we didn't go out there and play football or, didn't give our best effort or anything like that, you know what I mean? But there's definitely that feeling.
Go to Eric Bailey, Tulsa World.
Hey, Marvin, I wanted to ask you, just as an offense, how frustrating was it after the defense got the 3 takeaways just to end up with 3 field goals and not finding your way into the end zone in those moments?
It's frustrating. You always want to get in the end zone no matter who it is. Everyone's happy. On this team, we play as a unit. Everyone's happy no matter who scores. But, it was a little frustrating not being able to punch it in.
Sorry, Mike, I can't hear you. How does this feel after the game? Does it feel – how much of a win does this feel like, 40-35? I know it's a season opener. I know you learned from this. But what's the general feeling of this football team right now?
Right now, yeah, we didn't play to the best of our possibilities. But, we're feeling good. We're coming off a win. It's hard to win in college football. That's why there's so many upsets and all that stuff that happens, every year because it's just hard to win a football game. I think that, it's hard for people on the outside to see that, but at the same time, we won, so there's obviously something to be happy about.
Marvin, I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Go to Bob Persville, Sooner Scoop.
Yeah, Marvin, just sort of take us through your day, how you feel things went, and the way that you've been moving inside going into this season.
I feel like things have been going pretty good. Moving inside, it was a comfortable transition, especially with Coach Gundy. He recruited me most of the time to come here. So, we saw eye to eye, even with Drake Stoops being in the room, a veteran. Being with him in the room. At the end of the day, me, Drake, and Darby being in the same room with Coach Gundy, there's not much teaching going on. It's more details, and we're able to lock in on the small things. So that's it's a great thing to have.
Go to Ryan Chapman, SS Sooners.
Hey, Marvin, thinking back to last year's Kansas State game, kind of a similar situation as far as the game dynamic went. Was that something that you guys were talking about on the sideline in the second half of like, hey, you need to wake up, this is something that's happened to this team before?
We've talked about it all year, how, we had pretty good teams, Baker, Kyler, and at some point, they all dropped a game. We talked about it all fall camp, all summer. We don't want to be at the point where we have to drop a game to learn how to play, not how to play football, but you know what I'm saying, just to take it to that next level. So, in the moment, no one was really saying anything about Kansas State and all that stuff that's happened in the past. But at that time, there's different people who spoke up, got vocal, like, hey, we need to pick it up. You know what I'm saying? We can't drop one, especially not the first one, home opener.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go to Justin Martinez, Oklahoma.
Hey, Marvin, Tulane really came out strong there at the beginning, but I thought that play, that 50-yard reception you had, really helped swing the momentum in your guys' way. Just how big of a play was that, and can you kind of just walk us through it?
It was a big play. At the end of the day, it was a route we practiced over and over again all week in preparation for Tulane. And, Spencer threw it, hit it on the money. And, I just took off, ran as far as I can. At the end of the day, they reviewed it out at the 1. But, it's still a big play. I'm just happy I was able to put my team in a good position to score.
Go to Chandler Lingerbrett, OU Daily.
Hey, Marvin. Want to go back to the end there. After Tulane scored for the very end, they recovered an onside kick, and you and your team, or you and your offense, were forced to watch from the sidelines for basically the most important drive of the game. Take me through watching your defense come up with the stop there.
It wasn't too much of a nerve-wracking situation. Our defense, we know what they're capable of. The crowd came back into it at that moment because it was a big moment. We needed everybody, and then the sideline came back alive, and basically we were able to pull it through. And thinking on the sideline, as far as thinking goes, there wasn't much of a, oh man, is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? We're more, in the moment, cheering on and stuff like that.
We'll go to Austin Cartwright.
Hey, Marvin. Just wanted to ask you if there's, was there something you noticed that Tulane did specifically that sort of helped disruptive passing game then in the second half, or is that more of an offensive issue in your eyes?
I mean, in my eyes, I mean, I haven't went back and watched the film or anything. I'm not Coach Riley, so personally, I think it was just an offensive thing. But I mean, we practiced game planned all week. They're really good. I mean, I thought they were a pretty good group, well coached group. I mean, I can even hear the sideline sometimes stuff for calling out, routes they're saying and stuff. But I mean, they're a good group, big physical group, and yeah, I mean, we just got to play better in the second half.
Go back to Justin Martinez.
Marvin, you look at what Tulane is going through back home, and then also how they fought here today. Just how resilient is the squad?
I mean, it's a great squad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to get a home game taken away from you, even that, just the point of that, to come here, having them come here, their coaches agreeing to that. I mean, it's crazy. But, yeah, I mean, what they're going through, I mean, I have family in Baton Rouge. That's where my family's originated. So, they're all going through it too. And, it's hard to see, especially being here where you can't really do much about it. And our conditions aren't, as severe as theirs. I mean, we're living fine in Norman, Oklahoma. So, I mean, for them to come out and play this football game, I mean, it shows a lot about their school, about their program, about their coaching, and the players too, of course.
A few more from Marv. We'll go to Chandler.
I don't know why my hand is still raised, but I'll ask one anyway. Talk more about your defense overall. What did you think of their overall performance? Obviously, the second half seemed to be a challenge, but how were you making sure they were still engaged?
I mean, the defense, they played their hardest. I'm sure they did. I mean, obviously there were mistakes being made and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's football. Mistakes are going to be made. Teams are going to make runs. People are going to do things to get the best hand on our own team. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, we're Oklahoma. We're going to get every team's best game. So that's what we got today. We got Tulane's best game.
Go last one, Eric Bailey.
Marvin, wanted to ask you just how much of a weapon are you guys realizing that Gabe Burkett is for this football team?
I mean, it's a great weapon. I think we've known that, since, fall camp and stuff. But we're not really kicking field goals and doing drives fall camp like that. But, I mean, even in this game, I mean, Gabe came up big for us. We just got to cross basically the 50, 40-yard line, and he can put it in there for us, which is a huge, huge weapon. And, he'll be good for us all year.
Thank you, Marvin.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marv.